All right, here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Sunday evening. Another edition of Knicks Weekly presented by Underdog Fantasy. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com and use our code KFTV for a first-time deposit match up to $100. On tonight's show, all eyes are on Julius Randle. The Julius Randle injury update. We're going to talk about that. Plus, Jalen Brunson once again putting the league on notice, man, with an incredible week. Really putting the team on his back after the All-Star snub, and he's continuing to dominate. We're going to talk about that. Plus, our underdog player of the week. And we're going to take a look at this week's matchups, man. So lock in, hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel. CP the Franchise, Alex Rotaros on the ones and twos. Let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. Salute, salute, salute. All right, man. Al, how you feeling, man?
A little disappointed, bro. A little disappointed.
Yeah.
Baltimore came out lackluster today.
Baltimore,
Detroit
man. Baltimore. Yeah, no, I'm just
and then Detroit decided to mess around and find out. So,
Both Detroit and Baltimore, Al, proved they are not ready for the big show.
you know what'd be great, though?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Ryan Gosling, when he has to play Jared Goff in the movie on how the Detroit Lions almost made it to the Super Bowl and make it's something similar to Friday Night Lights. You know?
Yeah.
So there's no Booby Miles in this one.
Yeah, that was tough, man. You know, with Baltimore, I mean, they're still committing penalties right now. The game's over. The game's been over. Lights out at the arena, and they're still committing foolish.
Zay Flowers, what are you doing,
Zay
bro?
Flowers, we don't need that player of the game. What are you doing, Zay Flowers? What are you doing but costing your team? And then in the fourth, I mean, you know, Lamar's trying to come back, and he turns into Lamar of old. I'm like, what's changed? What's changed? I really wanted the story to be different for Lamar and the Ravens, and they came in and left this game the same old Ravens. For the Lions, you know, once San Francisco turned the Jets up on them in the second half, they got so shook they couldn't bounce back. I didn't like the going for it on 4th and 3 there in the fourth quarter.
That was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, yo, you take points right there, man.
You got to get the points.
Take the points.
Niners had way too much. Niners had way too much momentum. I don't see why you would give up, give a chance to give them a short field if you're not going for points right there. And once they missed that field, once they missed the 4th and 3, the game was over. Game was over.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Anyway, back to these Knickerbockers, Al. 3-0 on the week, including a bounce-back win, rivalry week, and they passed with flying colors. Bounce-back win over the New Jersey Swamp Dragons, and then you had them dismantling the champs by 38 points, and then also running away from the Heat in the fourth quarter of Saturday's matinee rivalry week matchup in the wake of losing Julius Randle, man. How do you reflect on this week, man?
Solid week for the New York Knicks. I mean, obviously we're still waiting on the news for Julius Randle, but when you look at the team as a whole and how they performed this week, you got to be thrilled with how they were able to just sweep the entire week. They take down the Nets. That was a close game. But then not only did they defeat the champ CP, but they also defeated the second place, the runner-ups in the Miami Heat, who were also in the NBA Finals. So good showing for the Knicks, and like when they're fully healthy, what they can do. But I'm still worried about Julius Randle, man. Like, I just need to know. Like, I don't know about you.
Yeah.
But I've been sitting. I feel like that SpongeBob meme with a cup of coffee, and I'm in the diner just waiting for the news. That's how I've been waiting.
Give them the news. Let's give them the news.
I want the news.
Here it is. The update on Julius Randle is Julius Randle is out with a dislocated shoulder for tomorrow's game in Charlotte. This is according to our guy Fred Katz of The Athletic. Still no word on the extent of the injury or a timetable. So
you almost had me there for a second. As soon as
well, I mean, you woke up today, and that was the first thing on people's minds. It wasn't who's going to the Super Bowl. It was any update on Julius Randle. And I've been getting those DMs. I've been getting those questions, texts from this morning straight through until we went on the air today. On top of that, oh boy, the Twitter doctors, orthopedists, everywhere came out of the woodworks, man. I told you this was not going to end well. I told you. Woke up this morning, DMs is flooded. Yo, check out this YouTube breakdown of the Randle shoulder injury. Check out this Twitter diagram of a labrum tear. This is what I had to wake up to this morning, bro. I told you, man.
And this was payback for everybody just tweeting and DMing you, asking you questions. You decided to just go with the. When I saw Bondi do that, I was like, okay, Bondi, this is just like a low blow.
Wait, what Bondi? What Bondi do?
Oh, well, he was like essentially what you were saying, but he threw the graphic in there with Randle. I'm like, of course he's not playing tomorrow's game. We know that. That's not news.
Listen, man, I came out on Twitter. I said, listen, I'm not watching any videos. Stop sending me the videos. Stop sending me the diagrams. I'm not watching it. I'm not interested. When the news comes out of how long he's going to be out for, we'll say it on this show, and we'll go from there, man. The guessing game was just ridiculous, man.
Go get your guy from the Celtics. Go get Hauser, a.k.a. Doogie Hauser, to go get the evaluation done.
Brian in the chat says, too much Doogie Hauser, man. It was just ridiculous. So, here's Fred Katz. He goes, Thibodeau has a few options to start at power forward tomorrow. With Randle out, could start Hart, could go with Grimes or Achua too, but he's really shied away from playing Grimes and Dante DiVincenzo together. My guess is he goes hard. Yeah, he's going to go hard at the 3. He's going to go hard at the 3, OG at the 4, and like he says here, then stagger both of them so one of them is the backup 4. You could also go Precious, backup 4 if you want to go Twin Towers with Precious and Hartenstein, Precious and Sims. But I think that'll be your starting 5.
Yeah, I see. I just see OG as being that guy. He's the most versatile defender that we got. So I don't know why you would go in any other direction without OG playing the 4.
Yeah.
Grimes would be interesting. I feel like I get why he would go with Hart. You want your other defender out there, but you need a little bit of offense too. I feel like if you want some defense, have capable 3-point shooting, you can go that direction. I don't know if he's just looking at Grimes as just someone to have off the bench and to have some shooting with the bench, but that's another option.
You can't go Grimes. You need to keep your rebounding principles intact. You got to go Hart. You have to go Hart. You have to play. You know, when I say Hart, you have to go with your size and quote unquote, right? Because he's like the biggest of the undersized guards that they have, so he can kind of play that tweener. You need that. Plus, you need to get those. Keep your rebounding edge and your experience. I don't see them going 3 smaller guards with Brunson, DDV, and Grimes as your big 3. I think they go Hart. To me, that makes the most sense. You go with Hart and go with OG.
Or does Tibbs do what he did last season with the second unit and have Jericho Sims out there with Isaiah Hartenstein in the starting unit and just go Twin Towers in that look?
Does you go Twin Towers? See, the thing is, I mean, you're losing a lot of offense here, man. You're losing a lot of offense, and that's why, to me, it's important to start Hart, because at least with Hart, with OG, with Brunson, like, you still have guys that are going to attack the basket. That's going to keep the Knicks offense rolling. You can't get stuck out there on the perimeter, and if you put the 2 bigs out there like that, you're going to get bogged down in the half court very easily. You know what I mean? At least if you have the Villanova 3 plus OG, that you still have some firepower there, and guys that can move the ball, guys that will attack the basket, and then, like I said, with Hart, be able to get defensive and offensive boards.
For sure. I know it's most likely going to be Hart. Just going through the other variations that we've seen in the past and what other – I mean, I don't see Precious starting at the 4. There's no shot to Precious. I just think Tibbs will either go most likely Hart, but there are other options that he can go with as well if he wants to liven up the offense, or if he just wants to go defense heavy oriented and protect the rim at all costs. Yeah,
for sure. And then, obviously you have the February trade deadline on February 8th. You have the buyout market. Does it change how they approach things in terms of targets? Do they try to use that traded player exception, which they have at $5.2 million? Do they try to use that and try to just bring in a player into the roster spot? Not that many options, but certainly a possibility. How about Jacob Toppin? Shout out Hector Vasquez in the chat. How about Jacob Toppin? I think Jacob Toppin could get a look. Bring Jacob Toppin up.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, do it, man. I mean, you got to do whatever you can at all costs at this point. Jacob Toppin had a really good night for Westchester yesterday.
32 points, 30-some points.
Yeah, 32 points. So you can give him a look with that second unit and start to work him in. I wouldn't be opposed to that. You know, his defense is better than his brother's. That's one way. I feel like if you're a Tibbs at this point, you just got to turn over every stone possible to figure out what you have on this roster and to keep yourself afloat. There is the buyout market, but there's still not that many great options. Do you, or how about this? Do you go to Brooklyn, go ask for Royce O'Neal?
Certainly possible. What's his salary structure looking like?
Let me pull it up. I feel like that's a deal the Nets could make with the Nets. Let's see. Royce O'Neal contract. Typing it in right now. Let's see what we got here. He's got 4 years, $36 million. So he's averaging $8 million annually. He's he's making $9 million this season, 9.5. He'll be an unrestricted free agent at the end of this year.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, wouldn't be a bad look. Certainly wouldn't be a bad look. Street Science says Jermaine O'Neal. 1,200 in the chat, man. Let's get those likes up. Hit that like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel. And let's pull up the schedule here and take a look at how things look. You know, we don't know how long he's going to be out for. Let's see here. All right, so if we go to Tankathon, so we have Charlotte tomorrow. You have Utah. Then you got home, 6 straight at home. Utah, 2 against Indiana at home. The OB revenge game. Against the Lakers, Memphis, certainly a winnable game. You got Luka Doncic, Luka Magic. And then you finish at Houston, at Orlando before you hit the All-Star break for another week. So you do have some winnable games here. 6 of the 9 before the All-Star break are at home. Then you get a week off for All-Star. So, you know, again, don't know how long he's going to be out for, but this stretch right here, you hope that they can tread some water as they go into the break and rest up.
That's all you're hoping for at this point, man.
Yeah.
What do you think this offense is going to look like? I mean, do you think we're just going to go Brunson heavy at this point? Just Brunson's going to be taking 30 shots a game?
Yeah. That's why I think you have to go with Hart at the 3. Because you still have to try to get your easy buckets with Hart, trying to get you out in transition, trying to attack the basket. You know, that's one thing with Julius is that you had a guy who was forcing the issue. He was getting into the paint. He was playmaking out of that. He was scoring in the paint. He was drawing contact. He was getting to the free throw line. Mm-hmm. That's another big part of your game that you're going to lose. So certainly it'll be Brunson, but if you have guys that can continue to dribble penetrate like OG, like Hart, and even Dante, where you're able to move the ball around, then you have to be able to generate your three-point looks. You're losing a guy who was commanding double teams and making the offense a lot easier, especially in the half court. So, yeah, it's going to be a big loss. It doesn't matter how long he's going to be out for. It's going to be a big loss, man.
Let's see. It's just, are we just going to focus on this week? Because it's Charlotte, Utah, Indiana. I mean, afterwards, you're going to have the Lakers. You got Memphis. You got Dallas. You got Indiana again, Houston. I mean, you got to go all the way up to Orlando. That's when you get to the break.
Yeah.
And just to repeat again so everybody knows, before you get to All-Star break, it is Charlotte, Utah, Indiana, Lakers, Memphis, Dallas, Indiana, Houston, Orlando. So those are the games you're facing without Randle. The games that stand out to me, if he's out, are definitely Utah, Lakers, and Orlando.
Yeah.
Because those are teams with, a height advantage at that point. Don't get me wrong, Indiana speed, I'm not overly concerned with Indiana just because they also play small. So
Yeah.
you can kind of keep OG out there with Siakam, but you're missing your another 20-point plus score on your team. So
Right.
you're going to have to keep up offensively. But I
Huge.
think that's more doable with Indiana than everybody else. We're lacking height
Yeah.
and wingspan on the court.
Yeah. Huge void, man. Huge void. So, rest up Julius, man. That definitely rest up Julius. So to everybody in the chat once again, hit that thumbs up button for your boys. CP and Alex on the ones and twos. Knicks Weekly. Knicks did go 3-0 on the campaign, which is great. You know, they did a good job doing that. 4th seed in the East. Let's take a look at the Knicks record right now. And the Hawks just beat the Raptors by 1 tonight. Pacers beat the Grizzlies. All right, let's see what the standings are looking like here. Let's take a look at the standings, see where we are. Okay, 4th seed in the East right now. Only a half game up on Cleveland and 2.5 up on the Pacers. You're 2.5 up on the Pacers. You play them twice this week. Already lost one in the season series. So these two this week are going to be very important. Try to separate yourselves from the Pacers a little bit. You're up 5. They're up 5 on the Heat and 5 on the Magic right now. Heat and Magic 7th and 8th in the East, respectively. So this was a big week to gain some ground, or to separate a little bit from those guys. And they're one game back of the Sixers, man, for 3rd place.
I know.
They're one game back.
If you have Randle, man, oh my God.
Talk about bad timing, man. They are one game back of 3rd. So, man, Julius, we need you. Definitely need you.
Get back soon, Julius.
Yeah, get back soon, Julius. They are they've now improved to 10-17 versus teams 500 and above. Good job this week, and 19-0 versus teams below 500. 19-0 versus teams below 500. So there you go. Now the only difference is this week. I mean, you know, the Lakers are they're like one game over 500 right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you have to kind of like take some of that stuff with a grain of salt. Like, you could look at this schedule for the next like 9 or 10 games and say like, well, maybe 3 of the 10 are against teams below 500, but these are all winnable games. These are all winnable games. But without Julius, it's going to make it a little bit tricky.
I mean, it's not like you're playing Philly, Boston, through this stretch, although that's after the break, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you hope Julius is back after the break because those first 2 games are Philly and Boston.
Right. First 2 games back, Philly, Boston. Then you get Detroit, you get New Orleans, Golden State, but then you get Cleveland, Atlanta, Orlando, Philly. That goes into that's March 12th, up to March 12th. So, yeah. By March, things start picking up, and then before you know it, it's April, and you're looking at playoffs, man. There's not a lot of time left. There's really not that much time left. What do you guys think? Yeah, go ahead.
No, with his injury right now, I know it's still up in the air, but is any part of you thinking about the future of Julius Randle on this team? Because this is another year. Let's say he doesn't make the playoffs, right? Let's say it's the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
As a front office, what do you do in that situation where his contract's about to end after the extension that he signed? It's coming up soon.
Yeah.
You're gonna have 2 postseasons. Let's say he doesn't make it to this postseason. I was just thinking about it today, man. Worst case scenario. Doesn't make it to this postseason. He should change agents. So to me, that doesn't necessarily mean he wants to be off the Knicks, but that means he wants to have someone properly represent him to maximize his value. Because look, at this point of his career, he's probably thinking close to 30. I want to get another solid contract because this is probably going to be my last best
big
contract that I'm going to get.
Yeah.
So if you're the Knicks and you're thinking about, hey, we haven't had you for 2 playoffs, you're going to go in there with that negotiation tactic saying, we haven't had you for 2 playoffs fully healthy. I'm just saying this worst case scenario. Does that, think about Julius and a new agent? Are you worried in that respect? Because how do you fill or replace somebody like Julius, should be this season, still healthy, 3-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA player. Does that worry you at all?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he did switch agents certainly should give you cause for concern, man. You know what I mean? I'm trying to pull up his contract right now. So to everybody in the chat once again. Hang on one second. No, it's up my internet. We're still live, right?
Yeah, we're still live.
All right. My internet went into like dial-up right now. I'm trying to get Sports Track up unless
dial-up. Does everybody in the chat know what dial-up is?
Yeah, I don't know. It might have been before your times. Yeah, I want to.
Tell Mom to get off the phone.
When is the player? Okay, here we go. I'm trying to pull it up, but this website's been going slow. It is. He's got the player option for 25-26 at 29, which he's going to opt out of, and he's going to be looking for northwards of 40. He's going to be looking for that.
Yeah.
So, but they don't really have to decide that until maybe like after, probably like by like the start of the next season, because he's still got one plus a player option.
But CP, you know as well as I know, these discussions start now as getting in preparation for those deals, because you're going to have some sort of framework to work off of moving forward. You got to think about incentives of all-star numbers, thinking about all NBA numbers, like all of that's important. That's why for a guy like Brunson, and not necessarily even being a starter, hopefully he does make the All-Star. He should make the All-Star as a reserve. Yeah. Like, these are very important for their contracts because that's how they get the extra money. I think it was with Klay Thompson when he didn't make All-NBA to go get one of the extra, like the super max, right? It's like this does impact their financial outlook. So all I'm saying is that he probably was going to make All-Star. This probably ruins a chance of getting that because he's already injured before the coach's decisions or votes goes in for the reserves. And then you got to think, if you're not making the playoffs, like, this just gives the Knicks more leverage to say, we don't have to pay you all of that. Yeah, that's just my thought process moving forward, man. Because it's gonna be hard to, if he's gonna want more money and he knows his value, and the Knicks are gonna try to say, hey, we're trying to save because we're gonna have to pay OG, we're gonna have Brunson in the future.
Puts him in the driver's seat. Yeah, man. Puts him in the driver's seat, man. And if I were them, I'd try to do the same thing they did last time. Try to get him under a team-friendlier deal. And you go from there.
All I know, man, is I hope they keep Randle.
Yeah.
Because you got him you got him as a free agent. Right. They're not going to trade him. Right. They need him. So hopefully everything is solid, man. I know it's in the future. We don't know the results of the MRI yet, but it's still just thinking ahead.
Absolutely. So we'll sit and wait there. In the meantime, I'm putting everybody on mute on Twitter. I'm not listening to anybody. I'm not reading anybody's prognosis, diagnosis. Not interested in that stuff, man. Not interested. How about your boy Precious, man? Are we gonna, they want us to talk about your boy Precious.
Be careful, CP. Be careful of saying that's my guy Precious, because
that's your guy, man.
I was down on him, and the chat's like, I can't be part of the Precious Hive. Not looking to be part of the Precious Hive. Okay.
Listen,
Precious has been doing a good job. But don't worry.
Precious has been doing the damn thing, man. Last 5 games, he's averaging 8 points. 8 rebounds, 6 points, 8 rebounds in 5 games. And good job by him. He had 10 against the Heat, 10 against the Denver Nuggets, and 9 against the Nets. So damn near had 10 rebounds per game this week, man. Good job by him. He's starting to come around.
For sure. Very impactful this week and much needed, especially when Hartenstein went down with the injury, right? Tweaked his ankle, and he stepped up, man. That's what you want to see from him, and it looks like he's starting to understand what Tom Thibodeau wants from him defensively. And especially against the Nets game, he contributed in a big fashion just offensively. But you're seeing that he's getting more comfortable in this system. I want to see him to be able to continue that moving forward because – look, center depth, man. If you can just rely on someone who can be versatile, give you some scoring off the bench as well, that's a good look. That's a good look for the 5, man. Yeah. But Precious has been awesome, man. Precious has been awesome these past 3 games.
He's looking good. I like that. He keeps us athletic. uses his athleticism, plays good defense. He does play good defense. That's one thing you could say about him. Offensively, you could be in for a cardiac affair, which is why he fits in quite well with this team. But he gets boards, definitely gets on the boards, and defensively, I like how he competes out there. So that bodes well for the Knicks, especially as they continue to have their front court just be not decimated, but definitely impacted by injuries. So you lost Mitch. You had Hartenstein go down for a little bit with the sore Achilles. You had Sims go down. Precious is in. Now Julius is out. But it's good to have him in there. You need another body out there. And so, just continue. Hopefully he continues. And he should have an opportunity to continue to at least rebound well because, you're playing Charlotte. You have Utah. You have Indiana. Those are all games where he should be able to continue to get after it on the boards. And contribute to this team, whether it's as a starter or off the bench. I have to think that he's going to continue to come off the bench for this team.
I think he will continue to come off the bench. And we may even see him get some power forward minutes, which I'm very curious about with the second unit because, if you go to most of any basketball reference or ESPN, they list him as a power forward. He is 6'8", according to ESPN for height. Mm-hmm. I would like to see him play some of the four just because versatility, man. If you can get Sims out there to continue to have your rim protection, then defensively that fits what Tom Thibodeau's looking for. And then offensively, I feel like if you give him some minutes at the four, we get to see a little bit more of what he can do outside of just being in the dunker spot. Let's see him work the pick and roll more. Let's see him just get some of those opportunities from high post. Get him out there baseline. Let's see what he can do, man, with the rock in his hand. So I'm looking forward to some of that while Julius will be out.
Once again, Julius Randle out on Monday versus the Hornets. And no news yet on the timetable in regards to how long he's going to be out for. No news yet. So just hang tight. And obviously, I guess we should hear something by Monday at the very least. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that like button, hit the thumbs up button for you boys. Share these videos. Share it on Facebook. Share it on Twitter. And, KFTV. Knicks Weekly on and popping. And definitely back tomorrow for Post-Game Live. We got back-to-backs tomorrow. Back-to-backs this week at Charlotte and then home against the Utah Jazz. And Charlotte could be out a lot of people. I think LaMelo's questionable. They already have, I think Gordon Hayward is out for this game. So the Hornets are going to be shorthanded themselves. Could be a bum night, man.
Could be.
Could
seeing
be
some of this in the chat. I'm seeing some of this in the chat. Did you think it was necessary? I think it was completely fine for Randle being the last 4 to 5 minutes of the game. I saw some people questioning whether Randle should have been out there in those waning minutes yesterday against the Heat.
Yeah, I thought it was ridiculous to even think that. It was wrong. Spoelstra had the whole Heat starters out there until 1 minute left in the fourth. A 16-point lead with 4 minutes left is not insurmountable by any stretch. That's 2 threes, and now you're right back into the game.
Exactly.
We just saw the Phoenix Suns just do it over a week ago. They were down by 19 with 5 minutes left. So I don't look at it like that, man. It's not a Tibbs fault.
Yeah, I was seeing that circle around. I was like, damn, that's a reach for me because we know 20-point leads in this game, especially today with the high scoring. That's nothing. Yeah, absolutely nothing.
It's nothing, man. Shout out to Charlie Cruz in the chat says, do we got KFTV play-by-play tomorrow? Nah, not for that game. I don't think the Charlotte game.
The Hornets Knicks?
No. But we will be for the Pacer game. That will be our underdog fantasy game of the week. The Pacer game. And we'll be doing our game of the week preview coming up. So make sure you guys stay tuned for further announcements as far as date and time and when we're going to do the preview. But we will have play-by-play Thursday for the OB Revenge game. OB Revenge game now. How you feeling about that? That's part of this week's docket, man. That's your boy's coming back home, man.
It'd been much more interesting with Randle on the court.
Yeah, it would have been. It definitely would have been. Definitely would have been, but
Because there was smoke last time. You saw how Randall was looking at Obi after that foul in the last game. Even though we didn't have anybody after the trade for OG, it was like you saw him stare down Obi like, oh, word, it's like that?
Yeah.
I was ready for the rematch.
I agree with that. Definitely agree with that. Let me see here. Okay, so we got Charlotte, we got Utah, Indiana, and the Lakers this week. Charlotte, Utah, Indiana, and the Lakers. What do you think?
We're beating Charlotte.
No Julius.
No Julius, but we're still beating Charlotte.
Okay.
Utah is going to be. You know what? I'm going to be a believer, CP.
Okay.
We're going 2-1 on the week.
Okay. 2-1 on the week, says Alex. What do you? No. It's 4 games this week. It's 4 games. Charlotte, Utah, Indiana, Lakers.
Oh, Lakers too. Okay.
Yeah.
We're going 3-1 on the week, CP.
3-1 on the week. I'm going on the pessimist side. I'm going on the pessimist side, man. I think this could be a 1-3 week for the squad.
I'm going to believe.
Yeah, I think
I'm going to believe. I'm going to be optimistic. We're gonna get. I'm hoping that we get good news soon. But I believe this team will rise to the occasion. CP.
Okay.
OG playing the 4. He's gonna be like, this is light work. I used to do this out in Toronto all day, every day.
Yeah. I gotta see how they play without Julius. It's a lot of offense to miss. You bring in a guy that used to be double team, and now you don't have that in your offense now. I'm going 1-3. I'm going 1-3.
Not even 2-2. You're not gonna go 2-2. Who's the win?
I'm going 1-3.
Charlotte.
Charlotte. Yeah, I'm going Charlotte.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going 1-3 this week, man. Going 1-3. I think this Pacer game is going to be tough. Lakers as well, without Julius and not having that size out there. Deeper teams. Utah could be tricky as well.
Utah could be very tricky.
Utah could be tricky as well. I'm going 1-3, man. Going 1-3. Uncle Ralph McD agrees with me in the chat.
Rick Pennington is questioning you, man. He's like, damn, 1-3.
That's just my opinion, man. 1-3. I think they go 1-3 this week, man.
I think the loss that they get, is against the Lakers.
Okay, so you're going
3-1. I think AD and LeBron is tough. That's tough without Julius.
Yeah,
LeBron's just been phenomenal, man. That Laker team is abysmal, but LeBron's been phenomenal this season. But I feel like we can keep up with the Pacers. They're gonna be fast, but we can keep up.
Let's see. Well, first off, let's see Halliburton's injury. So he was ruled out today against the Grizzlies. He was ruled out. He's missed the previous 4 games. This will be his 5th one out of the lineup. It's not really. They're not really saying when he'll be back. Now, if he doesn't come back, I like our chances a lot better. Well, it's just no telling. There's no timetable right now. He's ruled out tonight against the Grizzlies. So no Halliburton, I go 2-2. If Halliburton comes back, I think it could be a 1-3 week.
What if the Knicks trade for Kelly Olynyk and have him right and ready for that Pacers game?
Yeah, that changes everything.
The Knicks see Kelly Olynyk this week, and they're like, we need that guy.
That changes everything, man. Changes everything. Yeah. Dead the Hype says Halliburton now 3 weeks. Yeah, but that was he hurt himself 2 weeks ago.
And he came back and played a little bit with Siakam.
Okay.
So I don't know what's up with his injury.
Yeah, what I saw tonight was that he was ruled out tonight. Let's see. Halliburton injury report. This is 2 days ago. Will not be playing against the Suns who left hamstring. This is going to be a 4th straight game. Yeah, it's not clear. Not clear. So we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe he's back. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's back. Maybe he's not, man. What do you guys think in the chat, man? Leave us your predictions in the chat. I see 4-0. Jay's Junk Removal says 4-0. Al Tariq Hickson, 4-0. Salute to Al Tariq. He goes, we're good. 3-1, Jay Junk. Shiloh Blunt, CP sounds like Stephen A. talk, 1-3. Okay. All right, so they want the pom-poms in here, Al. They want 4-0 talk in here. You know?
Hey, you're just giving your opinion, man. What you believe will happen this week.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're wrong. Hopefully I'm right.
Yeah. Hopefully.
3-1. And hopefully I'm wrong, and hopefully they go 4-0. Hopefully they continue to have one of the most active, longest winning streaks this season in the NBA, because that's what they have right now.
Yeah. For sure. For sure, man. Who else had a good week this week, man? Our guy JB, Jalen Brunson now. After being snubbed from the East starters, Jalen Brunson was averaging a cool 32.4, 6.6 assists, and 4 rebounds in his last 5 games. And then last week, his last 3, 27.7, 5.3 assists, and 3 rebounds in 3 games, man. Killing.
Light work.
I
hear that guy's pretty good, CP.
Yeah. I hear he's all right, man. He's all right. So, great job by him. Definitely expect him to make the All-Star reserves. And, hey, with Julius out, just hope they could keep JB upright, man. Because that's the thing, too, is like, where is Tibbs going to go with this rotation? Who's going to get longer minutes? Is it most likely it could be Hart. I think Hart gets more minutes, but Hart's got the knee thing that he's managing.
But CP, it's going to be Brunson, OG at the forefront, averaging a lot of those minutes, because you're going to need scoring. That's JB. You're going to need defense.
Yeah.
And some scoring. That's also OG.
Mm-hmm.
So OG's already been playing 35 plus minutes in close matchups anyway.
Yeah.
Same thing with Brunson. Look, it's going to be an uphill battle for the Knicks to a certain degree, depending on the matchup. But you got to figure out how you're going to be able to rest these guys, man, and make sure that they're healthy for the playoffs too. And that's the issue, man, when you're top heavy as a team. We've seen this before, especially when you look at the Brooklyn Nets when they had Kyrie, Harden, and KD. Yeah, those guys they weren't on the court all together that many times, and they were a top heavy team. That's the issue.
Yeah,
you're going to see that. You see that with the Lakers, not necessarily this season, but last season you saw it.
Right.
That's just the issue, man. That's why depth is so important for these teams, and still happy about I still like the OG trade. But this is where you're like, damn, RJ and Quick, where you at?
We need reinforcements, man. We need reinforcements. So let's see what happens, man. Gonna be an interesting week. We're still waiting on the news for Julius Randle. And then let's just go from there, man. Let's just go from there. But anyway, short show today. I got to do PIX 11 at 11 o'clock. So I got to go get ready for that, man. Go throw the half suit on and get ready for that. Tomorrow on the NBA Report at 3 o'clock, we got John Krasinski, man. We're going to be talking Minnesota Timberwolves check-in report with John Krasinski, covers the Timberwolves for The Athletic. And then we'll be right back here, Knicks versus Charlotte Hornets post-game show. So make sure you guys tap in, man. Number one show for the fans, by the fans. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel. Also, remember that these shows are available in audio podcast format, man. No reason to miss it. But if you did miss today's show, salute to the replay gang. All right? Make sure you guys also tap in with our sponsors, man. Underdog Fantasy, guys. Go to Underdog Fantasy. Use our code KFTV for first-time deposit match up to $100. Also, Manscaped. Go ahead and get your lawnmower 4.0 or ask wifey to go get you one for Valentine's Day. That'd be a good gift. That'd be a great gift. And tell us you can go to manscaped.com and use our code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. All right, Al. We'll see. Are we waiting on the news? I guess we'll do another breaking news show once the news comes out, good or bad, and we'll dissect it. So we'll probably do a live KFTV in the afternoon at some point whenever it comes out, right? So you guys stay tuned. We'll see you guys tomorrow, man. Monday. Have a great week. We out of here. Peace.